Hello and welcome to a special edition of our Media Mondays. We have Radio Jeana here from Live 101.5, and we're going to get into a little bit of what she does here, what she's looking for, what she likes to do. You'll get to know her really well at the end of all of this. So thank you for having me here.
Yeah, thanks for coming. I'm excited.
Awesome. So we'll just dive right in. How did you get your start in radio?
It was an internship. I was a senior at ASU, and you have to have an internship to graduate. And I stayed really busy. I worked a lot of jobs, did all the classes, so I waited till the very end to do my internship. And I was like, okay, we got to find a good one here. So I go online, and I see this like really vague internship description of like, do you want to be a radio superstar? And na, you should come work for us. And I'm like, well, okay, that sounds interesting. So reached out. You kind of have to do the polite persistence thing, I would say, because it wasn't like one email, one application, and you're in. I think I was bugging my now boss, Tim Richards, for at least 2 or 3 weeks every other day, sending him an email like, hi, just wondering if you've seen my resume. I sent him a letter of recommendation, eventually get called in for the interview, and it all just took off from there. I started as an intern over 3 years ago. And I haven't left.
Gotcha. So you started here then?
Yeah.
From what I'm assuming. That's awesome. 3 years ago. And how did you kind of, I guess, make that transition where you offered like a full-time job after a certain amount of time? Or?
Right. Okay. So the whole thing's kind of crazy. So I started off as this intern, and I knew I wanted to be in radio. But the thing with radio and with a lot of media jobs, like you go where the jobs are. Jobs don't appear for you. You move for the job. So I was prepared for that. And I was talking to Tim about that. Someone else in radio said, you know, I would love to go to the Pacific Northwest. It doesn't have to be a big city by any means, but coming from Phoenix, I'm from Phoenix. It's a desert. Like I'd like to see maybe just at least a year or two of rain and seasons in my life. So that was my plan. My plan was to leave. And it's been this crazy combination of luck, because the job has to be there for you to get it, right? So luck, but also just like the hard work that goes into it too. So it happened. They needed a producer for Camel Mornings. And they didn't have the budget for a full-time one. And I was like, I don't care. I'll work for free. I just want this experience. I want to be in radio. So I auditioned for that role at an event called Country Thunder. Which is, you know of it? Okay. Yeah. 4 days of like nonstop crazying was like one of my first experiences. They're like, okay, you want to be a producer? You're going to Country Thunder. You're going to help them produce their show out there. It's like the biggest event for the year of them. I'm like, okay, no big deal. So somehow that worked out well. They liked me. They hired me on. I was there for a while. And I actually went to sales afterwards because I was a little bit lost in radio. I liked producing, but I knew it wasn't like my passion. So I was talking to Tim again. He's been like my mentor throughout this whole thing. And I was like, what do you think I should do? I'm a little stuck. He's like, you know what? I think you might make a great salesperson. You should check that out. Again, luck happened. There was a job opening. Now I wasn't a salesperson. I was a coordinator and assistant. I did that for a year. And I loved it. I would never take that back. I learned a lot about the industry from the other side of it. And then while I was doing that, though, I was also working on my on-air sound. I'd go into, we have extra studios here in the building. And that's what, this building's so cool because everyone is welcome to do everything. If you're respectful about it, you go about it the right ways. Like I'm in sales and they're letting me borrow this production room an hour every day so that I can practice on my air sound, which was incredible. So I was doing that. Eventually went to Tim again with my air check, a little demo. And I was like, hey, I've been working with some of the on-air people. They've been helping me. What do you think? He's like, I think you can do overnights on Camel. So I'm like, what? I'm like, oh my God. Like, that's what I was hoping for, right? But I didn't even have to ask. He just said it. I was like so excited. And so I did that. I was doing overnights. And it come to a point where I was like, okay, I'm ready to find a full-time job. I was going to move again because there wasn't any openings. And so Tim was helping me make a list of contacts, where I would go, how to reach them. And I got that ball rolling. I had a couple of things in the works, and then like all these things started happening on Camel.
Yeah. So you put in a lot of hard work.
Yeah, that's definitely radio. There's a hustle, but I mean, it's fun. Like, don't get me wrong, it's a lot of hours, but it's a lot of hours at a concert or at Country Thunder or in a studio blaring loud music all day, which is what I do at home anyway.
Right.
So yeah, definitely some work in there, but just a lot of fun. I just got lucky. I feel like it was a lot of luck and definitely hard work. Like, you don't just get lucky, but I mean, I wouldn't be here if the jobs didn't open up. They just happened to open up, you know?
Yeah, I hear you. So we talked a little bit prior, but what are the shows that you are an air host for? Or an on-air
Middays for live, so it's a Pop 40 station. I'm on from 10 to 3, Monday through Friday, and then I do late nights on Camel from 9 to midnight, and that's Monday through Friday as well.
Gotcha.
Camel's country.
Yeah.
Best of both worlds.
Do you like country?
Yeah, I do, and that was actually kind of cool. I listen to everything.
Yeah.
I don't have just a genre, so getting to work in two is really fun for me.
That is kind of cool. What would you say? I mean, I know that you've done interviews. You've done one for us in the past. What are some of your most memorable interviews?
Gosh, I think I'd pick Flume. I don't know if you're familiar with Flume.
Oh, yes. I do have a couple of their songs, yeah.
So good. He's like a Grammy Award-winning artist, and I was like, so I got into radio because of music, so I'm super geeked out. I love his stuff.
Yeah.
And he's someone who puts a lot of thought and effort into his music beyond the sound. Like, he'll bring in artistic people to do the visual concepts for his shows and the album artwork, and I just really appreciated that. And I feel like we had a really good conversation about music, and that's kind of what I like to try to focus on. So that interview... by far my most memorable so far.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's big leagues. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was cool. It was super cool.
So I guess spinning off of that, it seems that you really love your job. What kind of makes your show unique? What are you looking for, when it comes to interviews or people contacting you trying to pitch you something?
Yeah. Well, it's definitely a music-based show. So if it's a music-related topic or conversation, it's going to catch my eye. And I think that's probably what makes my show unique too. I mean, don't get me wrong, you're going to hear a couple of the celebrity gossip things, some pop culture news, but for the most part, I try to keep it music focused. I'm here for music. I'm going to assume the listener on the other end is here for music too. I never try to get in the way of music. I just try to highlight it. So if I can share with you new music, I have a New at 2 feature every day. I can share a new song with you, or we can have a conversation about why you like a song or why you don't like a song, and I can take your requests and give you radio shout outs. So I try to make it as interactive as I can, definitely centered around the music though.
Gotcha. Very cool. Last but not least, we talked a lot about what you do here. What are some of the things that you like to do outside of the station?
Honestly, it's kind of weird because with my job, I'm always out and about in the valley, but I'm kind of a homebody.
Yeah.
So I stay at home a lot. I just got married. I just bought a house.
Congratulations.
Thank
Holy cow.
you. I know. It's been a crazy year. But a lot of housework, not like cleaning, but like fixer-uppers.
Yes.
Like we put in a garden bed, cleaning up the yard, weeding. We got a puppy, so there's a lot of stuff involved with that too.
Oh, wow.
It's kind of boring. I mean, I love to go outside and backpack and hike. I guess that's probably one of my biggest hobbies. And it's just barely getting to the time where you can't do that. If you go up north this time of year, you can still get some good temperatures. So we're trying to squeeze in one last backpacking trip before we get into those 100-degree days.
Yeah, I hear ya.
Uh-huh.
I can't believe it. As I told you, it's my first summer, and I can't believe it's already 100 degrees out right now. But
definitely get a Mr. Fan if you're outdoor at an event. And I know it's like you might feel like a dork at first, but I promise there's going to be at least 20 other people.
I should do that. I
with
sweat enough as it is, so I don't think the Mr. Fan's going to really add much to
or maybe
the
just
sweat
the
already
non-mist, the dry fan. There you go.
So I know that we covered a lot of bases here. Is there anything else that you want to tell our readers and now our viewers and listeners?
Yeah, I mean, I love my job. I love being here. And if you're someone who loves music and is passionate about it, you're going to love it too. You can come on in. We're going to have that conversation between those really shallow pop songs that are just fun to dance and those really deep ones that bring out emotions, and I'd love to talk about that. And also just social media. I go live on Instagram all the time. Okay. I love having that type of interaction. I'm on as Radio Jeana everywhere. It's Jeana. I know it's weird, right? It's like Jeana, and then you're gonna make it hard to spell.
It makes it unique. Yeah,
it's fun.
Cool.
It's fun. I have a lot of fun. Facebook, Twitter. We're on Live 101.5 Phoenix as well. We're always out on our Facebook and Instagram. Definitely Instagram. That's a big one.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's a rising star, I think, in social media world.
Absolutely, absolutely. Especially with those live videos now.
Oh my gosh, so good for branding. Well, I wanted to thank you once again for having me in. I think the studio itself is awesome. I'm really impressed, actually. Like, I think this is awesome. I'm glad that you volunteered to do it. So thank you.
No, thank you so much. I was really flattered when you reached out because I'm pretty new. I've been here for 3 years in radio, but
no, the ladies that were here last a couple weeks ago, they absolutely loved you. They're like, you need to really reach out to her for this. I was like,
that's
okay.
So sweet.
She's like, she'd be a perfect person. I said, all right, sounds great.
That's so sweet. Well, thank you so much for coming by. It was awesome having you.
My pleasure. Thank you.